Hey everyone, my name is Adrian. Welcome to my channel on passive income investing. So today I just wanted to share my thoughts with you on the recent stock market crash due to the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic, and also share with you what I'm doing personally to better cope with the situation and keep busy during all this quarantine and social distancing put in place by the government. So the first thing to mention is pretty obvious. This really sucks. This pandemic is affecting billions of people, either directly or indirectly, from people getting sick and dying to the travel and social restrictions imposed by numerous governments around the world, and of course the havoc that this has caused for the economy in such a short period of time. So I work for the biggest airline in Canada, and the company is in full-on crisis mode, laying off many people, thousands of workers, mostly airline crew, but also some IT consultants that I work with directly. So this is very scary stuff. Millions of people have been laid off, which is brutal, especially if you're living paycheck to paycheck. So let's not sugarcoat it here. The stock market has been completely and utterly devastated. I mean, I started investing in 2012, 2013, and I've never seen anything like this yet, so it's very hard to process. I'm not gonna lie, for the first 2 weeks of the crash, I've been downing it, as my portfolio was down about 40% overall in terms of value, similar to the stock market. So I mean, the numbers don't lie. The TSX composite index, which is the best index to measure Canadian stocks overall, went from an all-time high just a couple of months ago of 18,000 to 11,000 now, and that's a drop close to 40% only in a matter of weeks, which is just crazy. Markets around the world are not faring any better. They're going through the same thing, and it might get worse before it gets better. So the big question is, guys, what should we do right now as passive income investors during this crazy but rare volatility in the stock market? Well, the more I thought about it, the more I came back to reality. Once emotions are set aside and logic kicks in, things come into perspective. So the key thing I had to remind myself is that as passive income investors, our hold and buy strategy has been specifically designed to overcome these tough times. Remember, just because your account value is going down like crazy, it does not mean you're losing money. The only way you lose money is if you actually sell your stocks. And as passive income investors, we don't sell anything. We're in it for the long haul, and our focus is getting the income in the form of dividends. So yes, some companies will need to reduce their dividend or suspend it temporarily. About 7 stocks that I own have done just that. But keep in mind, this is just temporary. Once things go back to normal, there's a strong chance that they will increase them again or re-enable them. Also, most of the reductions or suspensions have all come from the energy and restaurant sector. No surprises there. Luckily, I don't have too much invested in those sectors, so that's a good thing. The second thought of reassurance I had is that this situation is eerily similar to the 2008 financial crisis. So I wasn't managing and investing my own money in 2008, but I watched a lot of documentaries on what happened, and let me tell you, it was fascinating. The best one by far to check out is a documentary called Inside Job, narrated by Matt Damon. If you haven't seen it, I strongly suggest you check it out. So why is this reassuring for me? Well, because first and most importantly, we got through it, and stocks started bouncing back within a year of the crisis. Not only that, but stocks came roaring back stronger than ever before. Second, the government provided bailouts to a lot of the financial institutions who were responsible for the crisis in the first place in the US. So the same type of thing is happening now, where the US and Canadian governments are preparing and enacting bailouts, economic stimulus packages to assist workers and the corporations that are going to be most impacted by this. So same with the central banks. They're also cutting the rates. And of course, at least this time around, it's nobody's fault. It's not their fault directly. So we need to think of the situation logically, guys. Will the telecom and utility corporations all go out of business? Of course not. Everyone needs their cell phone, their internet, and electricity, right? Will property values go to zero? Of course not. Will the giant Canadian banks or life insurance companies go out of business? No. They all provide essential services everyone needs and uses despite there being a pandemic. So yes, the sudden drop looks very scary, but we need to remember that we're invested in businesses. If the company is resilient, our investment will be safe and sound in the long run. And most dividend paying companies are, so let's not panic and lose our heads here. So what have I been doing during the quarantine and social distancing measures? Well, looking at the best stock deals, of course. I mean, everything is on sale now. I recently read a good CNBC article where a 70-year-old veteran investor, Bill Miller, said that this is one of the biggest and best buying opportunities in his lifetime. And this guy has been at it for 50 years. He says that this is the 5th time in his lifetime where he's seen such an opportunity. So the one before this one, of course, was the 2008 crash. Also, don't forget the famous quote from legendary investor Warren Buffett: "Be greedy when others are fearful." This is exactly the time that he's talking about here. People are running scared and basically panic selling. That's the absolute worst thing you could do in a time like this. Now is the time to buy, not sell. By the way, guys, please hit the like button. I would really appreciate it. So now my despair has turned around into pretty much excitement. So there are so many incredible deals out there. You could just throw a dart at a stock board. It doesn't matter. You'll end up snatching a great deal on any dividend paying stock right now. Even the really big companies that have the means to easily sustain their dividends are on sale. So I strongly suggest you guys do the same and invest as much money as you can here. Another opportunity like this might not come up in years or even a decade. So we all need to take advantage. If you got cash lying around in a savings account or under your mattress, whatever, now is the time to use it and invest. And don't think the market will wait for you. Usually huge drops like this are not only rare, but there's a time limit before things get back to normal. So we need to buy quickly. By the way, if you're interested on what I think are the current best deals for stocks are, check out my video where I present my top dividend picks for the month of April. I'm actually planning on making a similar video every month going forward on my personal stock picks for the month. So you don't want to miss out, make sure you're subscribed. Another thought I had is, another reassuring thought is that this stock market crash will be a huge learning experience for me personally. It will show me which one of my stocks and funds will remain resilient once the dust settles, further educating me on the stocks in my portfolio. I mean, I'm nowhere near done with investing at 34 years old, so this will ultimately teach me a lot about the stocks I own and which ones I want to increase my investment in going forward. So rest assured, guys, there will be valuable lessons for all of us once the situation is under control. So one thing I've been doing to keep my mind off the stock market crash is side projects, like working on my YouTube videos, for example. So because of the quarantine and social distancing, it's giving me the kick in the butt to really get going on this project, and I suggest for you guys to do the same. It's a great time to get some work done around the house, educate yourself on a certain topic, or start a side project or side hustle. Don't spend all your time on Netflix and playing video games. Try to do something productive, that especially things that will help generate income for you. So those are my thoughts on the current situation and what I'm doing to get over it. I hope you guys are staying safe and snatch up some great stock deals like I am. Trust me, years from now, we will all be grateful for the many lessons learned and, of course, the cheap stocks we bought during this time when all those dividends roll in month after month, quarter after quarter. So try to make the best out of the situation and be grateful for what you have. Things will come back to normal. They always do. So I'll put the article that I mentioned in the video in the description below so you can read up on it. And also another good article on why long-term investors should never sell stocks in times like these. Very interesting article. I suggest you check it out. So please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already done so you can check out my future videos on personal finance and investing. So thanks a lot, guys. I really appreciate you guys watching and taking the time. And stay safe and see you next time.